David, let me play you this soundbite. This is from November 15th, talking on CBS. Nancy Pelosi referring to the president as an imposter.
He should not frivolously throw out insults, but that's what he does. I think part of it is his own insecurity as an imposter. I think he knows full well that he's in that office way over his head.
It's incredible that, soft-spoken yet very pointed, and she kind of goes toe-to-toe with the president.
And accurate in her diagnosis, Eamon, and somebody who probably more than anybody else in the country right now has the ability to rattle Donald Trump, to put him on his heels, not only because she controls the levers of the power of the Congress, but also seemingly on a personal level. You know, when the president had such a reaction to Nancy Pelosi suggesting that she prays for him, that somehow that personal gesture from the speaker really rattled the president. And what has been remarkable is that this has not been an easy road for Nancy Pelosi. She has had to withstand criticism from within her own party for not being aggressive enough. Coming off the heels of the Cohen confession in SDNY, where Trump was named as a criminal co-conspirator, the Mueller report, where she really didn't want to respond to allegations of obstruction of justice. And she famously said over the summer, look, Donald Trump will impeach himself. And then we got to Ukraine, and she moved very swiftly and satisfied all the competing factions within her party. A remarkable leadership year for Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, and we kind of outlined, Hayes, how it kind of evolved from the beginning. As we said, some Democrats were very critical of her. Even somebody like a Tim Ryan challenged her leadership position. And as David was saying, in the beginning, she pushed back against impeachment, while some of the more left-wing or progressive aspects, including Rashida Tlaib and others, wanted impeachment. She pushed back against that, and in the end of the year, she was proven right.
Right. I think that what a lot of her members, especially those on the left, wanted was sort of broader condemnation of Trump on a personal level and on a policy level in a way that Pelosi didn't quite agree with. She didn't think the politics were there to say that, oh, he's racist, therefore he must be impeached. She didn't think that that could be followed along with. She didn't think the Mueller report could be followed along with after the whole tangles of the Russia case. She didn't think that the obstruction of justice charge would be easy to prove coming off the Mueller report. But here she saw something where she could jump on board. And she knew when several moderate Democrats, freshmen, signed on to a Washington Post op-ed saying, no, we need an impeachment inquiry, that this was the moment to strike. Because Pelosi, unlike Trump views power just as a hammer, whereas Pelosi can use both the hammer and a scalpel. She knows how to, beat her caucus into submission while also very narrowly and very delicately poking at things and slicing away at support for positions that go against her.
Yeah, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, at least 3 or 4 iconic images of her this year, perhaps most notably during that impeachment at the end of the session when she kind of gestures to her caucus not to clap. Jess, let me ask you this, though. Does she run the risk? She does control the pacing of this impeachment process insofar as that she decides when to hand over or transmit those documents to the Senate to kick things off officially. Does she run the risk of overplaying her hand and holding on to them too long?
People have really questioned her timeline kind of throughout this process. She didn't get to impeachments fast enough. The vote was too fast. Now, she's holding on to things too long. So honestly, I think so far she's done a really good job at making sure that this is an issue that is being handled as fairly as possible. No one could ever accuse her of rushing to impeachment. And so, I'm inclined to trust her through this, this fair trial, making sure that the Senate actually calls witnesses, which is what, the American people deserve. I'm ready to follow Nancy Pelosi's lead. So far, she's come out on top.
Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on the button below for more from The Last Word and the rest of MSNBC.